say, yes, Lord, I will follow you. But first, let me put my kids through school. But first, let me collect my pension for my retirement. And every time the Lord comes, there's a reason why we can't say yes today. And before we know it, they're burying us 6 feet under the ground. And there we lie, having never fulfilled the will of God in our lives because of those 2 little words, but first. Can I tell you something, my friend? There are people in hell today, not because they said no to Jesus, but because the devil convinced them that they could say yes tomorrow. The devil doesn't mind if you say yes to Jesus as long as you don't say it today. How many of you know the scripture that says today is the day of salvation? If you know that one, raise your hands. Okay, that was a trick question. There's actually no such scripture in the Bible. Look it up. It doesn't say today is the day of salvation. It says now is the day of salvation. Now, now, now. Do you know why it says that? If a man is drowning in the river, he doesn't need to be saved sometime today. He needs to be saved right now.
That's right.
My friend, if you're going to say yes to Jesus, not only can there be no negotiation, but there can be no procrastination. Now is your day. Today, if you're here, his voice, do not harden your heart. And there was one more thing. Verse 61. Another said also, Lord, I will follow you, but first let me go and say goodbye to those that are at my house. And Jesus said to him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of heaven. Number one, there can be no negotiation. Number two, there can be no procrastination. But number three, there can be no hesitation. My friend, listen to me. Many of you are being called by Jesus even right now as I speak. And I think about these men that Jesus called, especially that one in the middle that said, but first, if only he had understood what was happening. If only he knew who it was that was calling his name. Jesus was not just another teacher. He was not just another rabbi. He was the King of Kings. He was the Lord of Lords. My friend, when Jesus calls your name, there is no greater privilege in all of heaven or all of earth. Say amen.
Amen.
I heard very clearly as I was driving here this morning, the Lord said,